Now, this weekend, Remembrance Sunday, of course, the King, Princess of Wales and Prince George paid their respects for our fallen heroes.
But across the pond, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle attended Kris Jenner's star-studded birthday bash in Beverly Hills instead.
Whilst Prince Harry was wearing a poppy to the event, was it a royal faux pas for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to party instead of paying their respects?
Well, to debate this now, we're joined by Editor-at-Large for the Mail on Sunday, Charlotte Griffiths, and the royal commentator, Jack Stooks. Very good morning to you both. Charlotte, let's start with you. Is this a royal faux pas for Harry and Meghan to be partying with Kardashians over Remembrance weekend?
It's absolutely a faux pas, and I'd go further and say it's the most tragic display from these two I've seen for a very long time, if not ever. It couldn't be less appropriate to go to a Kardashian showbiz star-studded party where, of course, these aren't their close circle of friends. These aren't their best friends. It's not Harry's best mate's 40th. They don't know the Kardashians. So to have gone there and then to have gone without wearing a poppy. I know Harry wore his poppy. Meghan did not wear a poppy. The easiest thing in the world, it would have taken a second to just pin in a poppy and it would have actually helped a little bit. But to have attended in the first place was just unforgivable.
Harsh on the Sussexes, because in America, I don't think Remembrance Sunday has the same resonance as it does in the UK.
No, of course it doesn't. But Harry is a veteran himself. Harry just last week went to Canada while his brother was in Brazil, trying to, I suppose, in some way, steal a bit of attention from his brother, but also to support veterans in Canada. Now, this is a really important weekend for Harry. He, I'm sure, wishes he was in London at the Cenotaph, but because of his behaviour over the years, he hasn't been there. But to have gone out, he really should have stayed in. He knows this. He's been in the royal family for 41 years. He knows how it works. He knows that is a really stupid thing to do. And do you know what I really think? I just think he doesn't have any agency in the decision-making that goes on in his marriage. I really think if he'd had his way, he would have stayed in that night, because it's the obvious thing to do is not to go out partying on the Remembrance weekend.
The royal watchers are in shock yet again, as Prince Harry and Meghan Markle face a massive public backlash over what critics are calling the most tragic and inappropriate display ever. This isn't just another PR blunder, it's a full-scale reputation crisis for the Sussexes. Let's dive in. It all started when Harry and Meghan appeared at what was supposed to be a charitable and heartfelt event. But instead of praise, their appearance drew sharp criticism, with many accusing the couple of turning a serious occasion into a photo opportunity. Royal analysts described the moment as tone-deaf, suggesting that Meghan and Harry seemed more focused on optics and media coverage than genuine empathy. Within hours, social media exploded. Comments poured in, words like embarrassing, staged, and disrespectful dominated the online conversation. Some viewers said it was painful to watch, calling it a tragic reminder that the Sussexes have completely lost touch with authenticity. Even loyal fans admitted this was a bad look, one that raised serious questions about whether Harry and Meghan truly understand the weight of their public image. Royal correspondents didn't hold back either. Several experts noted how this blunder reflects a pattern, a series of poorly calculated public moves that continue to undermine the couple's credibility. One commentator said, "They claim to want privacy, yet they keep orchestrating these hypervisual moments that scream for attention. It's a contradiction that's become impossible to ignore." At the heart of this latest controversy is timing and tone. Observers argue that Meghan's choice of outfit, the couple's dramatic poses, and even their public statements appeared inappropriate for the context of the event. What should have been a moment of solemn reflection instead came across as self-serving and performative.
Jack, let's bring you in at this stage. Do you think they would have been wise to stay indoors this weekend?
I mean, I do see what she's saying, but I don't feel that where they are, they need to be sort of locked away and hidden out of sight. I don't see why. He's in America. He's going by what the Americans are doing. He was wearing a poppy. I don't think anybody else was. From all the photos I've seen, I think he was the only one with a poppy on. Yes, they do have Veterans Day on the 11th. Obviously, we have Remembrance Day. But they, in America, tend to wear poppies. I think it's more on the Memorial Day, which is, I think, late May, if I'm right in saying. So Meghan was doing nothing wrong. Harry was doing nothing wrong. I mean, Harry wasn't out, on the 11th having a massive party. Harry's the only member of the royal family that's actually currently served in a war. So none of the other royal family have actually served. So I think if anything, Harry knows what he's doing more than most. He's been there. He's seen the conflict. He's seen what it's done to people. So I don't think that he would have sort of gone out thinking, oh, I don't really care about anything. He does care, very much so. And knowing Harry, knowing how much he does care, I don't think that they have done anything. I mean, it was a Saturday night. He was invited to a party that they've said yes to attend to. And I'm sure people would have said, oh, what's the poppy all about? Why are you wearing it now? And, he would have had that conversation. So if anything, he's actively showing that he was wearing the poppy, and he can actively talk about what's going on here in England.
The royal family. This latest spectacle adds fuel to the fire. It reinforces the narrative that Harry and Meghan have become isolated figures, trapped in a Hollywood version of royalty, far removed from the dignity and restraint expected of their status. Insiders suggest even senior royals are growing increasingly frustrated, seeing each new headline as another blow to the institution's reputation. As expected, Meghan's PR team tried to spin the story, emphasizing her good intentions and humanitarian spirit. But by now, the public isn't buying it. Critics claim it's part of a familiar cycle: controversy, backlash, and then a sympathy narrative, and this time, even supporters admit the damage may be too deep to repair. So here we are, another royal controversy, another lesson seemingly unlearned. The question isn't whether Meghan and Harry meant well, it's whether they're willing to understand why their every move feels out of touch. Until that changes, the Sussexes' public image may continue to spiral, no matter how glamorous the presentation. What do you think? Was this truly the most tragic royal display yet? Or are critics being too harsh on Harry and Meghan? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more royal insights, commentary, and the truth behind the headlines.
Yeah, Charlotte, I guess Harry would have known that anything he does is viewed through a UK lens, and even though it's not well, it's a big deal in America, but maybe not this weekend in the same way, that it would have caused headlines as it is today.
Yeah, I mean, this was the biggest celebrity party to have happened where they live in California for months, if not years. It's Kris Jenner. She's the matriarch of the Kardashians. I think Kim Kardashian has something like 360 million followers. I mean, they're basically the American royal family, and the celebrities there were super famous. You've got Justin Bieber there. And all these other big names, Oprah Winfrey, their old friend from The Interview. So they must have known that on Sunday morning, that party would have been all over the papers, all over online. And so I think probably what happened was they couldn't resist the opportunity to go and to be seen. And it's important for their level of fame that they are seen networking with these super high-end A-list celebrities. I actually think what happened was Harry realised, this is probably not the best PR move, but was somehow overruled because it was just too tempting to go to such a, quote, important party. And I think that in itself just says so much about what they value now compared to, the Harry that I used to know, the Harry from pre-Megxit, as it were, would really have never gone to any party when he should have been, remembering war veterans. And I also think that the Kardashians are quite well known for sort of paying people to go to these parties. I don't know if they paid Meghan and Harry. They probably didn't, but their parties aren't authentic. Some of those people were their friends, but some of them were just celebrities who were just going because it's Kris Jenner's A-list party, and who doesn't want to be seen at that? And it reminds me a bit of their wedding. When somebody asked George Clooney at Meghan and Harry's wedding, how do you know the happy couple? And he replied, I don't. And, we know Oprah went to that wedding. Oprah barely knew them at that point. It's just this kind of American thing of hanging around with famous people for the sake of it. And that isn't more important than veterans.